Hi everybody, and welcome back to part 2 of my Cardiff Comic Con. This is where I'm going to show you the bulk of the rest of the back issues that I bought from the Comic Con, as well as the most expensive thing that I got from the Comic Con. So without further ado, let's get into it. First up, we have issues 1 through 4 and then 6 through 8 of Extreme X-Men, which is written by Chris Claremont with art by Salvador Larroca. As you can see there. So there's issue 1. Issue 2. I think I paid I think I paid about £4 for these. These are actually in packs, in another seller's comic boxes. They were selling off the majority of this run, actually, barring a few missing issues. And if I'd actually had the money, I would have bought the rest of the run. But unfortunately, I spent a bit more than I would have initially thought I would on the first day. But as Dr. Monkeybot would appreciate, as I tweeted him about it. Well, I tweeted it initially and then he replied to it, but I tweeted saying that I didn't anticipate how much money I would spend at the Comic-Con over the weekend, because everything was just so inexpensive and I was getting so much stuff that I thought I got a great deal. I mean, I didn't spend that, how can I explain it? I got a lot of expensive things. They just mounted up in terms of how much I spent. So I didn't necessarily sort of overspend. I don't know. It's my first convention. I'm allowed to overspend, okay? But yeah, like I said, I initially didn't think how much I was going to spend, because I thought everything was so inexpensive, which it was. But lesson learned, I will now save up a lot between now and November, in time for the next Comic-Con, so then I have a lot more money to hopefully get a lot more stuff. So anyway, there's the cover to issue number 3 of Extreme X-Men. Issue number 4. Issue 6. I'm missing issue 5. So I'm going to track down issue 5 momentarily, or at the next available opportunity. So, issue 5. Sorry, issue 6. Sorry, I'm missing issue 5. Issue 7. And the final cover, which is issue number 8, which is probably my favourite cover of the bunch, which, if you know me, you know my favourite X-Man is, you know from my YouTube handle, and that is issue number 8, showcasing Remy LeBeau, aka Gambit, with his signature playing cards. And as the front cover says, enough said. So yeah, issue 8 of Extreme X-Men. And from looking at the some of the collected editions on Wikipedia in terms of the information, the first 9 issues of this series is what the first volume collects. So I'll be picking up issues 5 and 9 as soon as possible, and then reading the first arc of the series in its entirety. Next up is a issue that I found in Mark's comic boxes from Resurrection Comics. I think I found this variant and the initial original series cover for this issue. It's from the 90s. It's essentially the next era of Chris Claremont's run on the X-Men, or the Uncanny X-Men, I should say. It's a variant, so Madame Comics will definitely appreciate it, I imagine. And for those of you who are fans of Chris Claremont and you're fans of the artist of this cover, you'll definitely appreciate it as well, I imagine. And that is issue number 1 of X-Men from the 90s, written by Chris Claremont with artwork by Jim Lee, with a really great Magneto cover, or Magneto variant cover, showcasing him looking extremely cool, extremely badass and extremely powerful. Now, if you combine all three of the variant covers for this first issue, they actually made a really cool poster kind of image, which I put a post on the YCC Facebook page to Jessica Shoemaker, basically replying to her that I'd replied to her comments on my Amazing X-Men issue #1 review regarding X-Men recommendations, and that was part of the image that I tweeted, that I posted rather, because it was the 3 issues combined into one poster image. So next up, I'll show you the most expensive thing I got at Comic Con, and it's a hardcover. And I got this for 50% off. Initially it was £28. I got it for 14, and it's Ed Brubaker on the writing, Steve Epting on the artwork, and that is the hardcover of the Marvels Project, which is the 8-issue limited series, which deals with the birth of the Marvel superheroes of the 30s and 40s era, or eras I should say. So yeah, I got that for 50% off, so £14 I paid for this, and I'll just show you some of the interior artwork, which is, as always, by Steve Epting. Absolutely fantastic stuff. So there's that page, and there's that page. Really awesome stuff. And Dave Stewart actually does the colouring on this series as well. For those of you who might be interested in picking it up and are interested in colouring as well as writing and artwork. Next up we have issue 1 of a series from the Marvel UK line from the 1990s, written by Dan Abnett. And for those of you who are reading the Revolutionary War 8-issue limited series from Marvel at the moment, which is still ongoing, we'll be wrapping up fairly soon. There was an issue, there was a one-shot or #1 of this particular series, but it wasn't written by Dan Abnett, it was written by somebody else. But this is issue #1 of Knights of Pendragon from the 1990s. Really great cover there. I got this for £1. I bought this off again. I bought this off Mark of Resurrection Comics, as he was doing 50% off on a Sunday. So I saw this after going through his boxes for probably the 10th time, maybe? No, probably about the 5th or 6th time I've gone through his boxes. Just that section, but then I moved down and looked at the rest. So I found this, and there was also issue #5, but I decided to just jump in on the ground floor, so to speak, and just get issue 1. So yeah, there's issue 1. And next up we have the main bulk of my haul, which, if you know me and you know what I've been reading back issue wise recently, you know that I've got a ton of Excalibur by Chris Claremont, Alan Davis and friends for the most part, because there's a couple of fill-in artists here and there on this series. So first up we have the Excalibur Mojo Mayhem Special, which actually is quite thick, and it actually looks like a smaller trade, much like the first 5 issues of Scott Snyder and Sean Murphy's The Wake from DC Vertigo at the moment. So Mojo Mayhem Special. Next up, issue #6, which is a tie-in to the Inferno crossover. Issue 7. Issue 8. Issue 9. Issue 10. #11. 12, which is part 1 of 9 of the Cross Time Caper storyline. So yeah, issue 12. Issue 13. Issue 15. I didn't see a copy of issue 14 there, unfortunately, at the convention, but that leaves me with one issue at least that I can track down, along with a few others as well as I get later on into the issues. So, issue 15. Issue 16, which is a really great homage to the John Carter Warlord of Mars series, possibly more from the Marvel series of John Carter of Mars from the 1980s, I believe, possibly 70s, 80s-ish. So, issue 16, with a really great cover there of Nightcrawler. Again, I actually saw issue 17 there, but I thought I'd already bought it. But I've now gone back and gone to my little black book, and marked which issues I need to get in terms of their number. So then I'm going to cross them off as and when I pick them up. So issue 18. Issue 19. Issue 20, with a really great cover of Captain Britain going up against Rachel Grey, or Rachel Summers, while she's in her Phoenix form. Issue 21. Issue 22. '23. '24. Again, a little bit of a jump to issue 27. '28. Oops. I'm showing these a little bit too quick, I think. 28. 29, with a really great cover there with a Phoenix, or Rachel Summers, or Rachel Grey, which is actually known by both. Actually, looks as if she's possibly turned evil. So issue 29, and the biggest jump in the X Factors, but it's to a giant size spectacular. And that is a landmark issue for the series, which is issue 50. So, and I got this for £2. Again, thanks to Mark's 50% off sale that he's having on Sunday. So, actually, there were a few more issues after 50 which I found. I think there was 51 through 54, but again, due to lack of money, I couldn't pick them up, but yeah. So, issue 50. And I think there's 4 comics left, and then that's the end of the whole video. So for those of you who are still watching, thank you very much for sticking with me this long. I really appreciate it. First up of the last 4 comics is issue 71 of X Factor, which is Peter David's first issue on the writing properly, as he wrapped up the Muir Island storyline back in issue 70. So, issue 71. Really enjoying All New X Factor right now with Peter David and Carmine Di from All New Marvel Now. Really big fan of Volume 3, which is also written by Peter David, which I need to pick up the complete collection of, which is Volume 1, which will hopefully collect the entire series in the complete collection editions, which collects the first 3 volumes essentially in 1 volume. So I need to pick that up as soon as possible. So yeah, issue 71 of X Factor from Volume 1. Next up is a series that my 2 good friends, Sam the Lucha Media Geek and Gary Onesie Angelique, they're both big fans of this series. I found issues 1 to 3. I couldn't find issue 4, unfortunately, as there was a bit of a jump from 3 to 17 in Nick's portion of the comic store that both he and Mark were manning at the time. So I'll try and track down issue 4 and the rest of the subsequent issues at some point. But the first up is last 3 comics, Sandman Mystery Theater, issue number 1. Written by Mac Wagner with art by Guy Davis. This is from DC Vertigo. Issue 1. And this is part 1 of 4, I believe, of the Tarantula storyline, which is the first arc in the series. So there's the Tarantula Act 2, which is issue 2 of Sandman Mystery Theater. And last but certainly not least, Tarantula Act 3, issue number 3 of Sandman Mystery Theater. There we are. There's issue number 3. And that concludes my Comic Con haul, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you everybody for watching. Hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Didn't like it, thumbs it down. But as I always say, if thumbs down the video, by all means do feel free to send me why in the comments below, or send me a private message. And if it's your first time here, by all means feel free to subscribe. And until next time, this is Gambit896 signing off, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care, guys.